Once again, I'd like to say a big thank you to David Yates for completely wrecking the Crimes of Grindelwald.
These were beautiful. Future. Whatever. My regular niffler.
Hello beautiful people, how's it going? I'm back with another video. I don't want to be as angry as I was in that introduction. I want to be calm, I want to be happy, and I want to just thank the universe and God for giving us the extended edition of the Crimes of Grindelwald. But I also want to ask the director, David Yates, a couple of questions because I'm honestly getting really frustrated at this point. As you guys all know, yesterday was February 15th, which was the release date of the extended cut of Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Of course, it was only released in the US for some strange reason and wasn't given to the rest of the world. So I haven't actually seen any of these deleted scenes that I'm about to talk about, but there are 14 minutes of extra content that we have been given that has been re-edited back into the film, which I really want to talk about, especially some in relation to Dumbledore and Newt and Credence Barebone, because there's a lot of information that we've gotten from these extended cut deleted scenes which I genuinely feel should have been in the movie because it kind of changes the perspective and the narrative of the film, which really could have helped it be a bit more coherent, which was a problem that a lot of the critics of the film had. As you guys all know, I actually really enjoyed The Crimes of Grindelwald. I thought it was a really great film. I do think that there could have been improvements that were made, but it didn't decrease my enjoyment of the movie at all. I loved it very, very biasedly. I mean, I went into the movie knowing I was gonna love it, so I just kind of did. So I really don't know how people would have reacted if they weren't as excited. But I do feel like these deleted scenes, which I'm about to talk about, would have enhanced it a lot more, especially since some of these scenes make it a lot more coherent. And so I wanted to discuss them with you all, especially because I know most of you may not have access to the extended cut and may want to know what's going on. And so I thought I'd fill you guys all in. And so without further ado, let's begin. Thanks to Hypable, we actually have a full breakdown of every single deleted scene, and there are 10 of them. Honestly, if it weren't for them, then we wouldn't know any of this because iTunes is keeping this exclusively to US viewers. I have no idea why, and I have no idea why they think that might be a strategy, because it really isn't, and I don't understand how American viewers got it a month before people in the UK and people around the world, which includes me. So the first deleted scene we're shown in the film is actually an entirely different opening to the movie, in which Credence goes from Obscurial, the little shard that we saw at the end of the first film, into human form, and he goes to his original home, his foster home that was destroyed, and he finds records of his birth certificate in the ruins of the house, and that's what leads him on the quest to find his true mother. And that's something that needed to be in the Crimes of Grindelwald, because essentially you go from Credence being killed to him just being alive at Circus Arcanus, which genuinely is such a shock and just didn't feel coherent. And with this little like 3-minute scene, you could have just fixed all of that, but no, they decided to delete it for some strange reason. I mean, I know timing is a thing for movie producers, but I mean, you took that out and you kept the baby nifflers. Help me understand. The second deleted scene is another Credence Barebone scene in which he sees the Circus Arcanus board a boat to head to Paris from America, which again would have made it a lot more coherent to explain how Credence found the circus, why Credence joined the circus, instead of just giving us an introduction immediately with Nagini and not explaining how Credence is even alive. Again, these are a lot of details that I feel like should have been placed in the Crimes of Grindelwald and would have made it so much more coherent, yet we didn't get any of those things for timing and because I just genuinely don't know. And while these scenes don't drop massive pieces of information, they do serve as plot points to help move the story along, or at least introduce the story, especially Credence's, and he was a character that was very shortchanged in the Crimes of Grindelwald, especially since the entire plot revolves around Credence finding out who he is. But instead we got the entire Leta Lestrange thing, which again, I'm not complaining because Leta was my favorite character, but there needs to be a fluentness. Is fluentness a word or fluency? Is fluency a word? I don't know. Now here's one of the scenes that we actually saw in the trailer but we didn't get to see in the movie, and it's when Dumbledore uses the Deluminator in the scene in which he's walking with Newt. There is a huge piece of information that was revealed in this scene that was deleted for no apparent reason. Now here we go. Newt asks Dumbledore, "Why did you send me to New York?" And Dumbledore says, "Because I knew Grindelwald would try to catch Credence. He had a vision many years ago in which an Obscurial killed the man he fears above all others, me." Are you serious? Are you actually kidding me? Not only does this really confirm that Dumbledore was the one who sent Newt to New York in the first Fantastic Beasts film and ties the two films together, but it also gives us a huge piece of information that the reason that Grindelwald was looking for the Obscurial in the beginning, in the first film, was because he knew that it was the only thing that could kill Albus Dumbledore. That is confirmation. That is canonically canon. But we didn't know about it, and we didn't get that information in the actual film, which is when we should have gotten it. I really don't understand how movie creators could leave out important plot points of their own entertainment for movie timings, for a higher box office. I mean, I know that it's a business, but you are genuinely, this is the one that got to me the most out of all the deleted scenes, because it genuinely changes the way you look at Grindelwald's motivation to find Credence. And it explains one of the questions that I had in the first Fantastic Beasts film of why Grindelwald was so adamant on finding Credence, or finding the Obscurial at the time. And then even further, it would have made the plot twist that Credence is actually Aurelius Dumbledore a lot more heightened, because you would know that they were linked from the very beginning. And this scene is only 40 seconds long. You really could have included it, but you chose not to. Now here's another scene that I genuinely really enjoyed, because iTunes actually released it prior to the release of February 15th. It was a scene that includes Leta Lestrange and Theseus Scamander, which was a couple that I really enjoyed in the Crimes of Grindelwald, especially since Leta, again, was my favorite character in the film. And they go to a ballroom dance in which people are spreading rumors that Leta's brother is alive, and I just think that that's something that could have been really used well in the film, especially since the rumors about Leta's brother were only introduced like midway, and that could have just been a recurring theme that I think would have been heightened really well. Also, Zoe Kravitz is an amazing actress, and I would just take a lot of her performance over a lot of the stuff that we got in Crimes of Grindelwald. I mean, not really. I mean, if you just put it in side by side, I'd accept that. Because again, I did really enjoy Crimes of Grindelwald. I think this scene is also really important because it heightens the relationship between Leta and Theseus. A lot of people didn't really feel the effect in which Theseus really was mourning the death of his wife and fiance when she died at the end of the film, and that's because we didn't really get to see their relationship flourish in any way. It was just always that Newt was in the middle, and I think we could have dealt with a bit of time with them two without Newt there, and that would have helped, but again, it was deleted for timing purposes. Then there are another two deleted scenes that I felt are kind of inconsequential, so I wasn't really upset that they were cut out. The first being a scene between Tina and Skender in which she visits the circus and he just recognizes that she's an Auror and she's dangerous, and I guess that develops her plot a bit, but again, Tina was so undercut that even this wouldn't have helped in any way. And then there's a scene between Newt and Jacob in which Newt puts the baby Nifflers in the suitcase and then just runs off to Paris, which again feels inconsequential to me, so I'm just fine with that. But I am glad that we got them as deleted scenes, and I'm glad that they're in the extended cut. And now we come back to another scene that I wish was in the film, and it was a scene that we saw in every single trailer, and I do mean this when I say every single trailer of the Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald film, and it was the scene in which Nagini and Credence are sat on the roof, and Credence shows her his Obscurus, and it's something that I really wish we could have seen, because we really get to see Credence harness his Obscurial powers, and again, that would have just explained a lot about how he's still alive. This was just something that, because it was missing, it just felt like it made the previous film irrelevant and his death in the previous film irrelevant, kind of like the way that Jacob just remembers everything, and that scene in which his memories are erased just kind of becomes just kind of pointless when you think about it, and so I would have enjoyed that scene to be in the film. And then again, we get another two deleted scenes in which Nagini and Credence are lying down and just snuggling, and Yusuf Kama is walking with Newt and Jacob. Again, scenes that don't really need to be in there, but would have been nice, especially the Nagini and Credence scene, because again, just develops their relationship, and then again would heighten the end of the film when Credence goes to Grindelwald and you can feel the pain that Nagini feels. Which we didn't get because their characters weren't developed. This is the reason that films just shouldn't be cut. They just shouldn't be cut. That's it. Now here we go. Here's the final scene. Are you ready for it? The big one that we missed out on. And I think it was cut because of an error in maybe timing. Maybe the character that was involved wasn't even born yet. But you know, this was a scene in Hogwarts in which Albus Dumbledore and Minerva McGonagall have a conversation, and Dumbledore actually calls Minerva by her first name, which again confirms that she really is Minerva McGonagall from the Harry Potter series, even though she's not born yet. But we're just gonna hold on to the fact that maybe Joe is using a time turner in the plot to just kind of help us keep the faith, or at least I really hope that's the case. Yeah. So I want you guys to tell me what your opinions are of the deleted scenes, and if you think that they should have been in there and they shouldn't have been cut out, because I definitely feel that way. And I just want to know if you guys are happy that we got the extended cut. I am, even though I haven't actually seen it yet. I will be very happy when I receive it, and I will be very happy to own it for myself and enjoy the extended version of the film. If you guys haven't seen The Crimes of Grindelwald yet, if you just haven't, I would recommend just watching the extended cut when it comes out. I just feel like all of that would just make the film a lot better, even though I enjoyed it very much. I gave The Crimes of Grindelwald a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. And I'm not proud to say I enjoyed it, but I'm just not hateful towards it as a lot of you people are. Which is fine, because again, opinions are opinions, and you are very entitled to feel that you paid money to see a film and you didn't enjoy it, or that it ruined your childhood. And again, you're entitled to that. But I personally enjoyed it, and so I'm glad that we got this extended cut, because it genuinely makes it even better than it was the first time when I saw it, or the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth, or the sixth. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel to see a lot more Harry Potter content. Bye guys!